The celestial void is full of horrors, but none are as deeply unsettling as the Silence-Horde. They are not creatures of matter but of anti-vibration. They are massive, bat-like entities composed of a super-dense, exotic material that absorbs all kinetic and sonic energy across the entire spectrum. They are the ultimate predators of the vacuum. When the Horde attacked the listening post at Echo 7, the station didn't send a distress signal. It didn't send anything. The aliens' presence created a localized field of absolute silence that was far more profound than the vacuum of space. They didn't just dampen sound, they stole the energy that created it. Explosions became invisible puffs of cold gas. Engine flares died before they could ignite. Even the vibration of atoms was suppressed. The station and its crew were swallowed by a terrifying, unnatural quiet before being torn apart. Traditional warfare was useless. You couldn't track them with radar, sonar, or thermal sensors. Their ships were holes in reality, and their attacks were invisible until your hull was already breached. You cannot fight an enemy that turns your own guns into silent toys. To fight a war without sound or fire, humanity had to rethink combat from the ground up. The Federation formed the 10th Void-Recon Unit, the visual sync snipers. We are a unit of mutes. We communicate exclusively through high-speed, line-of-sight laser data links built into our helmets. Our armor is sleek, mirrored, and thermally inert to blend into the starfield. We don't use explosive rounds or kinetic slugs. Our weapons are heavy, long-range coherent-light cannons, laser rifles that fire massive, silent pulses of focused photons. We don't fight with bangs. We fight with flashes of brilliant, silent light in the dark. I am Captain Ghost Rylan. And today, we are dropping into the silent graveyard of Echo 7 to take back the dark. The approach to the shattered station was the most nerve-wracking experience of my life. There was no hum of engines, no vibration of the ship. We drifted in free fall, relying on cold gas thrusters for course corrections. The station was a field of glittering debris, millions of shards of crystalline solar panels and twisted metal hulls floating in the void. And among the debris we saw them. They were terrifying holes in the starfield. Massive, winged shapes that were darker than the space around them. They didn't move like ships, they glided, absorbing the starlight. When one passed in front of a distant nebula, the gas cloud seemed to vanish. Sync link active. Targets marked. No audio. No wasted movement. We hunt in the quiet, I signaled over the laser link, the words appearing as text on my squad's HUDs. We detached from our transport and drifted into the debris field, using the floating wreckage for cover. We were 5 ghosts among a million tombstones. My heart was pounding, a rhythmic thud that felt deafening in my own ears, the only sound I could hear. Contact. 3 o'clock low. A swarm is feeding on the reactor core wreckage. We saw them. A dozen Silence-Horde beasts were clustered around the remains of the station's main reactor, their bodies pulsating as they absorbed the residual energy. There was no radiation glow, no sparks. Just a silent consumption of power. Set up a kill box. Vane, take the high ground on that solar panel. Sarah, flank left behind the habitat module. Wait for my mark. We illuminate them on 3. We moved into position, our magnetic boots making no sound on the metal debris. I braced my heavy light cannon on a twisted girder, looking through the high magnification scope. The crosshairs settled on the largest of the creatures. A beast the size of a fighter jet, its wingspan blotting out 100 stars. 1, 2, 3. Mark. 5 triggers were pulled simultaneously in absolute silence. There was no roar of cannons. There was no muzzle flash. Instead, the debris field was instantly illuminated by 5 brilliant, silent lances of coherent blue light. The lasers hit their targets with the speed of light. The Silence-Horde beasts, used to absorbing kinetic energy, had no defense against a focused photon bombardment. The light pulse didn't burn them, it overloaded their exotic matter structure. The lead beast I hit didn't explode. Shattered. The silent impact turned its massive body into a cloud of glittering, dust-like particles that rapidly dissipated in the vacuum. It was a violent, beautiful, silent disassembly. The other 4 targets met the same fate. Silent flashes of blue light, followed by clouds of dissolving dust. The swarm reacted instantly. The remaining beasts, realizing they were under attack, turned toward the source of the light. They couldn't hear us, but they could see the flashes. They dove toward the debris field, their massive, sound-dampening fields washing over us. My suit's internal sensors went haywire. The slight hum of my life support system died. The vibration of my own blood pumping seemed to stop. The absolute, crushing silence of the Horde pressed in on my mind. It was a psychic weight, a feeling of utter isolation. They are suppressing the field. Stay visual. Trust your eyes. I flashed over the link, fighting the panic. The beasts were on us. They moved with terrifying speed, weaving through the debris. One of them swooped toward Vane's position. Vane didn't panic. He tracked the silent black shape, leading his target. He fired. A lance of blue light struck the beast's wing joint. The limb shattered silently, and the creature spun out of control, crashing into a large piece of hull plating without a sound. Flanking. Left side. Sarah signaled. 2 beasts were trying to get behind us. I pushed off my cover, drifting into the open space. I spun in 0G, bringing my cannon to bear. I fired a snapshot. The blue light caught the first beast mid-dive, vaporizing its head in a silent flash. The second beast was too close. It opened its massive maw, a black hole designed to swallow energy. I could feel the cold radiating from it. I didn't have time to recharge a full shot. I switched my cannon to rapid-fire mode. I unleashed a silent storm of light pulses. Dozens of smaller, brilliant blue flashes struck the beast's chest. It was like hitting it with a silent jackhammer of photons. The creature writhed in silent agony, its body cracking and fracturing under the relentless barrage, until it finally disintegrated into a cloud of dust just meters from my face. Clear. The immediate area is clear. I signaled, my breathing heavy in the silence. We regrouped, 5 tiny points of reflective light in the dark. The main swarm had retreated, confused and damaged by an enemy they couldn't silence. We looked at the debris field, now dotted with the slowly dissipating dust clouds of the fallen beasts. We had proven that even in the absolute silence of the void, humanity could still make itself heard. The graveyard is secure. We own the quiet now, I flashed. We activated our magnetic grapples and began the slow, silent drift back to our transport. The mission was a success. We hadn't made a sound, but we had sent a message that would ring across the celestial void. Humanity had learned the terrifying lesson of the Silence-Horde. The universe is full of things that want to take away our voice, our energy, our very presence. But we are stubborn creatures. If you take away our sound, we will fight with light. If you take away our fire, we will fight with the cold brilliance of a laser in the dark. We are the visual sync snipers. We are the ghosts in the machine. The Echo 7 field is clear. The Silence-Horde has been broken. The void is still quiet, but it's our quiet now. The mission is over. We are drifting home in the beautiful, silent dark.